All right. Hey guys, it's Kevin again. And this is going to be the start of let me just say right now, this is not the normal type of review that I typically do. This is a separate series, mainly because of the fact that someone on here has wanted to collab with me for a while. And you know what? I feel like she's very important in my life, and you guys should get to see more of her very often. So Aly and I are starting this this podcast together called aptly titled A Conversation with Kely. In this video, it's not the first episode. This is just a basically, like, I'd say like a prologue, a preview, if you will, mainly talking about the cast assessment for Big Brother Canada. But before we do get into that, Aly, introduce yourself since they don't know you as much.
Well, I'm Aly, or you can also call me Alyssa or Liz or whatever you just want to call me, Aly Cat. I'm from Canada, so this show I'm definitely experienced with.
Yes.
And I'm just really excited because this will be really fun, and I'm just really excited to like talk about this season. Hopefully it's a good one. And
yeah. Yeah. So going into my knowledge with Big Brother, you guys know, obviously, I know about Big Brother a lot. I've covered it extensively for years. My knowledge of Big Brother Canada, on the other hand, is a couple players, some brand steals, and that's about it. I haven't really watched a single second of this version of the show before. Obviously, I've seen like the big moments. Like I've seen that crazy double eviction that everyone talks about. I've seen like clips of that. I've seen some other clips, like when the Pack brothers won, because everyone was like outraged about that. So I've seen things like that, but like my knowledge in terms of Big Brother Canada overall is really not that great. That's the main reason why I brought her on. But also, like I said, she's talked about before how she's wanted to do, collabs with me just because it'd be fun. And, this is going to be a series that we do right now. We're talking about Big Brother Canada, but when Big Brother Canada ends, maybe we'll talk about something else. I don't know. This is just something we're trying out, but we're just going to get into it. We're doing a cast assessment right now. Now, I took notes for this. I know you didn't. I took notes mainly because I felt like I'd forget like what I was going to say about most of these people because I'm stupid. So we're going to pull this up right now. Now, before we get into it, what do you think of this cast overall? Like, what are your first impressions of them, like, as a group?
Me? I mean, I really like the diversity. Okay. I'm glad they at least aren't just putting a bunch of white people. Because you don't want it to be like all basic. I like that.
No, we don't love that.
I like that they're changing it up, and there's only a few people I wasn't really a big fan of, at least yet. But yeah, so far it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, for me, I thought this was a pretty diverse group. What I love about Big Brother Canada right off the bat is that they really are big champions of not just having stereotypes. They have people that are actually really different. They have people that you don't normally see before, especially in this cast. There's quite a few people that I just don't feel like we see on normal seasons, and that gets me really excited for sure. And I feel like there's a lot of people that, you would think would fit into a certain stereotype, but they sort of like break that norm through their intro. So I really like that a lot. And it also seems like this is a cast that is generally there to play. Like that's the other thing I will definitely say from this cast overall. This cast generally wants to play. They generally want to make an impression. They're not just there to lounge around and like, have sex and, make showmances and gain popularity on like Instagram or something. Like they generally want to be there, and that's really great to see. So I am a pretty big fan of this cast. There are a couple that I'm like, I don't know, but we're just going to get started right now. So I'm going to go in the order of the ones that I ended up watching. Like I said, I have a few thoughts on them. But we're going to start off right now with our first one. I'm going to share my screen because, I feel like that's the most professional way to go about this. We're going to start off with Rohan. Rohan is he is a strategic partnerships manager. He is someone that is clearly really well, he's in a really good position in that field. Now, before I give my thoughts, what did you think of Rohan overall?
I mean, he was one of the people I wasn't like crazy about, but like but I do like him too. Like he wasn't like, he was probably like in the middle for me of my list. He seems like he would be really strategic and possibly go far, but also someone to look for. Cause like, I don't know, maybe he'll keep his job to himself. Who knows? But, like, he seems, I mean, so far he seemed nice and he just seemed very smart. So
yeah, I honestly was a pretty big fan of him. He was the first one that I watched, and I thought right off the bat, like, this guy has massive winner energy. I love that he straight up says, like, he wants to be the villain of the season. He wants to be that snake. He wants to be that rat. And he claims that he's, like, a really great liar. I thought it was great in his intro how he's like, I might have been lying throughout this entire thing, and you don't even know. It's like, you can really see that he's someone that is, like, well experienced with that kind of thing, manipulating people, and that plays a big part, obviously, in Big Brother. So I think he's someone that definitely could be a really strong contender. And I could also see him being someone that, like, maybe he's not the greatest at comps. Maybe he's not the greatest at those things, but he really excels in his social game. He really excels at his strategic game. So I'm a pretty big fan of him. I think he's going to go really far. My only real hesitation, I would say, is that I do think he's someone that could get a little too focused on wanting to create drama early, and it could end up snowballing for him. But I think if he, dials it back a bit, if he, just takes some time to get to know everyone and then really just let the chaos unfold and find a way to not get too caught up in it, I really think he could end up going far. So I'm very excited to see him here. And I will echo Josh Calhoun. I do think he has massive winner energy for sure. I think definitely.
He could win, but like, I can low-key just see him right now, maybe making it close to the end, but maybe like getting kind of like 3, just because I could see him being like a really strong threat to win. Like maybe the final HOH cuts him because they can't win against him. But he could possibly make his way to the end. I'm just a little worried because what if that?
Yeah, that's definitely a fear of mine as well, that like, again, he's going to get too focused on one, or he's going to do too much early on and people are going to like see, oh, he's already really building a resume for himself. But I also feel like it could really go in his favor because I think, he could also be someone that they don't see as big of a threat in that way. I think definitely he could be someone that really goes far. This is a really interesting take. Jazzy says that she sees Zach Rant's energy. And I will say, I do see Zach Rant's energy, but not from this guy. There's another guy I see Zach Rant's energy, and we'll get into that.
I don't see him as Zach Rant. I could see him
now.
I'm trying to think of who he would be. Like maybe a Kevin Martin, but possibly a person who gets cut at like 3.
Also, we love you too, Jazzy. We love you too.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So yeah, I think we basically said everything we need to about Rohan. Like I said, I'm a big fan of him. I know you said he's not one of your favorites, but hopefully he ends up surprising you. Cause I think definitely, at least for me, I see massive potential in him overall. And I think he could end up getting really far if he, plays things in the right way. So those are our thoughts on Rohan. The next person we're going to be talking about is someone I'm kind of already forgetting, to be honest, and that's Jedson. Jedson is a personal trainer. He's also a model. And what do you think about Jedson overall?
He's another person like that I wasn't like a huge fan of yet. I don't dislike him at all, but I can see him being maybe like a pre-jury boot, maybe like last pre-juror or first juror. Maybe he gets along with women, but like, I don't know. I just don't really see him going super far.
Yeah, Jedson, for me, what I will say, the things that really stuck out to me about him are not really game-related things. I really liked what he had to say about how much he cares about, like, racial and social justice. I think he could definitely be someone that, like, offers a lot of interesting conversations, sort of like what, say, like, Kaser was and he was doing it, but, like, he didn't get to do enough of it last season. I think he could definitely be someone like that brings up a lot of good conversations. Now, in terms of of the game, because he talked about in his intro how like that's something that like really matters to him, and he does say he's going to be a big comp threat. But I won't lie, watching the other intros, he just didn't stick out to me as much as some of the other people, and maybe that works in his favor because we don't have as many expectations from him, and I think that's something that is good because he's someone that we can watch on feeds and we're like, oh, we actually really like this guy. Or it could go the other way where it's like, oh, this guy's kind of boring and it wouldn't matter anyway because we don't have that many expectations. So yeah, I'm kind of just whatever on him. I don't blame Jazzy for forgetting who he is because he's just kind of fine. You know, I think he's fine. He seems like someone that, again, he has a lot of things I like about him, but overall, not much really there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those I think are our thoughts on Jedson. Is there anything else you want to say about him?
Me? I mean, like I said, nothing wrong against him. He just doesn't seem like I just didn't really see a whole lot with him. I can just see him being like an early boot, but there's just, I don't know. He just didn't really stick out to me.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, if the most I got from him is him talking about like important conversations, he's probably not like, you know, one of the big highlights for sure. But anyway, we'll get into the next one, who I definitely have a good amount of stuff to say about. Let's talk about Brayden. Brayden is someone who he's a college student, and he is very detailed about the kind of college student he is. He studies biological anthropology, which is like a big part of human behavior, and in general, just you know, is someone that is obviously really into that. But what do you think of Brayden?
I actually didn't dislike him. I can see him being really like strategic. I can see him going pretty far, maybe like Final 5, Final 4. Yes. I could see him kind of like a Gary in a way, like maybe comp beast and making it far but not winning.
I don't know anything about him, but I will agree.
Like actually Big Brother Canada 1 was the season I've watched the beginning and I watched the end. That's the season I need to still watch the middle of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I
need to watch Big Brother Canada, period. This will be the first season I watch.
You need to watch. It's so good.
I know.
But yeah, I can see him being like a comp beast who doesn't make it right to the end, but I can see him making it far. He has a lot of potential and he does seem pretty likable.
Yeah, I was a big fan of him. I thought he was easily one of the most entertaining intros for sure. I mean, just watching him, this seems like he's going to be the king of DRs. I really think he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be so much fun. I can already see like a compilation on YouTube of like all the DRs he ends up doing. I think he's just going to be a lot of fun this season. And I think he's also someone that, because he's so fun and like flamboyant in that way, like a lot of people are not going to see him as a big threat. And that's why I think he's going to end up doing really well, because he obviously is not going to tell people about his like biological anthropology, but he also talks about it like he doesn't think people know what that actually is, but it literally means like studying human behavior. So like this guy knows a lot about, you know, how humans operate, you know, decision making, that kind of stuff. So I really think he's someone that could be a real threat to win in this season. I'm really excited to see what he ends up doing. Now, Jazzy agrees with you. However, her comment's a little weird. It says Gary gives her Gary energy. I don't know what that means, but
just like basically just personality and like comp wise and stuff like that. Like I can see him making it to like Final 4 or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Henry, about that draft, that was completely random. I just randomly picked people for that because I had not watched the intros until now. Yes, hi Henry. But yes, I will agree with Jazzy that Brayden is very much an icon, and I think definitely going to be one of the most entertaining players of the season.
I think so too.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about Brayden before we move on?
Like you said, he could be like the king of DRs. He'll be like the Britney of Big Brother Canada.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a real character for sure, and I'm excited to see what he ends up giving. But so that's Brayden. Now we're going to move on with someone that I know you have a lot to say about for sure because of how much you were raving about this next one. Let's talk about Beth.
Oh yeah.
I'll let
She
you
was
start because I know you were a big fan of him. A big fan of
um
her.
honestly, she's like one of my favorites.
Mhm.
I honestly I relate to her a lot. Like just her personality, like she just seems very bubbly and very energetic like me. And
Mhm.
she seems that she can make it really far to like maybe jury, maybe the end. I could see her I could see her winning or getting runner up. Um she just seems really fun and just very spunky, and she could be a comp piece. I could see her being I can see her having a really good social game and being connected with everybody. Um but I can see her also being maybe a little underestimated in a way too. I see her being really social, maybe comps too, but I can definitely just see her being really social.
Yeah, for me with Beth, I definitely enjoy her energy. I think, like I said, like you said, she's very bubbly and fun, and I think that's something that coming into a season is really good because she's going to gravitate towards a lot of people, and I think that could definitely really help her out for sure. And especially like the experience she's had with also people of the homeless population, it shows that she is someone that has worked with very different kind of people. Like she's had a lot of experiences through people with different backgrounds, and especially coming into a house where you have people from various walks of life. I think that's something that is really going to help her, but that also is something that she very much should not tell anyone. Like she needs to not talk about like her experience with the homeless and things like that, because people will see, oh, she's really good with people, and that could definitely make her a really big threat. I also could see her being someone where, what were you going to say?
Oh, I said, yeah, that would definitely get her targeted. So she should just keep her occupation on the well.
Yeah, and I do agree with Jazzy that she's going to be super social and get along with everyone, but I also could see that being a negative for her. I think because she's so bubbly, I could also see it where she's working with basically everyone, and people could really see it as like, you know, this is someone that's I could see her getting cut like right before jury. Like I could very well see that happening for Beth.
I don't know. I could see her being maybe an early juror, or I can see her being maybe like runner up or something.
Yeah, definitely. And also I guess I see the Holly comparisons, but I don't really see it because like she actually seems like she's going to be fun. She's not going to be passive like Holly was, and hopefully not be in a toxic relationship either. So I can definitely see the showmance as well. I can definitely see that for her, but I will say that's not the person that I see being in a showmance the most this season. There's someone else that I definitely.
I honestly don't think I could see her being in a showmance. Maybe like just a flirtmance, like maybe she'll flirt to her advantage, but I don't see her being in a showmance.
Yeah, I think she's definitely someone that is going to do really well. Like I said, my only concern is that her bubbly personality will be like a detriment in the game and things like that. Oh no, I don't see it either, Brandon. I've just heard people make that comparison, and I don't really understand it for sure. I mean, yes, she's on a farm, but that's like about it. And they have this, and like she is her name is actually Beth. That's like the only real comparisons. Like there's really nothing similar to Holly and her. At least I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah. But yeah, I know you were raving about Beth a lot. I know she's one of your favorites. So is there anything else like you want to say?
I mean, I just hope she does well. I don't want her to be an early boot, because if she does, I mean, that would obviously be very sad, but I think she'll be really social and make it at least a few weeks.
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to do well. Again, the concern that I have is a very minimal one. It's just something that I've noticed can happen where it's like, oh, this person is so social. Oh, everyone loves this person. And it's like, oh, well, maybe we need to get rid of them early. But I don't know if that's going to happen for Beth. I think she's definitely someone that people are going to naturally gravitate towards. And I think that is going to end up helping her overall. So yeah, that's how we feel about Beth. Now let's get to someone that I feel like people are already memeing up a lot and not necessarily for the right reasons. Let's talk about Josh. So Josh immediately is someone that I probably should gravitate towards because he is a filmmaker. He's very much into movies and TV and things like that. That's something that he's definitely really into, but we'll get to my thoughts in a little bit. I know I basically already know your thoughts on him, but what do you think about Josh?
Honestly, when I watched his bio, I just wasn't a fan. I could possibly, he could grow on me, but like with his bio, I don't know. I just didn't really like his vibe. Yeah, I like that he likes movies, stuff like that. But I can kind of see him just being maybe like being this stereotypical man who just like flirts with every girl and just probably I can see him starting a guys alliance. Like I don't know. I just maybe he'll grow on me, but right at the start I just didn't like him. But also
I definitely
also there was I remember Mike was tweeting that Josh looks like Nick Carter in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean he definitely has that look for sure. Also, he's very much not straight.
Oh, he is okay.
Yeah, I thought he said that. I thought he said that in his intro.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think he like briefly mentioned it in his intro, but my assessment of Josh is, like I said, I love that he's into movies. I love that he is a filmmaker in that way, but overall, he just seems kind of boring. Like that's the best way to describe it. I think he's going to be someone that is, I do agree with Jazzy that I think he's going to be outcasted very early. I don't think he's someone that is going to work with a lot of people, especially like his weird opinions on things, like the way he's like, oh, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk and all these like, and like everyone living in a simulation, like, that stuff is cool, but like, I don't feel like that's like a topic of I don't feel like that's a topic of conversation that people are really going to like gravitate towards, like I just don't see that really working out for him overall. Again, I think if he talks about like maybe filmmaking and things like that, I think that's something that people can naturally gravitate towards. Like I said, I was really happy to hear that he's like a big fan of that stuff. But like, aside from that, I just didn't get that much from him. I wrote in my notes that he could end up being really fun, but I also could see him being very annoying. And
I honestly I don't know. I can see him being like maybe like second boot, maybe first. I just didn't really like his vibe, and he does seem kind of annoying.
I don't know. I'm not really that into him. I think there's definitely things that maybe he could do well in. Maybe he could end up being like an Ian or something where he's introverted and then that works to his advantage, but I just don't really see it right now. So I'm not a huge fan of Josh at all. Definitely pretty low on my rankings. Is there anything else that you want to say about Josh?
Hopefully he can proves me wrong. That would be nice, but if not, we'll see.
Not a big Josh stan for sure. Not a lot of good Joshes in Big Brother. Definitely, it's not a very positive name in the Big Brother community. So maybe he'll be one of the better ones.
I mean, Josh Martinez is likable.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Nicholas just flat out said Josh is awful.
He does not like him.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of him either. But anyway, we'll get into the next person, which I don't think we've talked a lot about. Let's talk about Tyshawn. Oh, that is not the right thing. Hold on. Wrong tab. There we go. That's what I want. All right. Let's talk about Tyshawn. So Tyshawn, he is someone that, he's an urban planner and he seems very close to like his family and things like that. What did you think of him overall?
He was honestly like, I don't rate him low on my list, but I'd say he's in the middle as well. I could see him being like good at comms, like maybe mental comms, and I can see him being maybe making a couple good allies, and I can see him possibly making it to the end, but also maybe early jury, or last pre-jur. So, like, I think he seems like a nice guy. I didn't really have much of an opinion from his bio, but so far he seemed cool. Like, nothing against him or anything, but honestly, I just have to wait and see what happens in the show. But like, so far he just seems like a nice guy, and he possibly could do well in like comps. I don't know.
Yeah, once again, Tyshawn's in an interesting category where the things I remember about him are not really game related. I liked hearing the story about, like I said, he's an urban planner. I liked hearing the stories about how like he wants to be an advocate for low income communities. And I think he could definitely be someone that, like, you know, we don't really see someone like that in Big Brother. A lot of the people in Big Brother are like middle class or like close to rich or something like that. So it's cool that we have someone that has actually been like really poor all of his life, and he grew up in a very like rough upbringing for sure. I think that that's going to be interesting to see his story, and it also is a really good reason for him to get that money. You know, like that's, you can really see that like he really kind of needs this in that way. So I really do like seeing that from him, and also just how close he is with his family. The one thing I am worried about is that he talked about how he's a big flirt, how girls usually like him. I could very well see him getting into like a showmance of sorts, and that really like clouding his judgment. I could definitely see that happening, and
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be as focused on the game as we want him to be. I hope he is, because I like his energy a lot. He seems very likable and fun. But I'm not entirely sure if he's going in to play the game, you know?
I can see him having like a good connection with people, like just because of his story and his background. So like I can see him having a good social game, but honestly, yeah, the showman's thing might be his downfall. Hopefully not, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Jazzy for forgetting about him, because he's definitely not one of the more interesting people. Like I said, I think the thing that makes him stick out is the story he has. You don't really see something quite like that, so I think that's interesting. But other than that, again, just not really someone that left a big impression on me. Is there anything else you want to say about Tyshawn?
I mean, again, I hope he proves me wrong as well. I hope he doesn't like fuck himself over.
I could see this too. I could see this too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, those are our thoughts on Tyshawn. Now, the next person we're going to be talking about, again, going to people that we don't normally see a lot of. We have someone that we definitely have seen before. Let's talk about Tara. So Tara is someone who is a mom of 2 kids. She's also a spin instructor, and I have some thoughts on her for sure. What did you think about Tara?
I actually liked her. She seemed really nice, and she's a mom, so I can definitely, I don't know, I could see her. I don't see her going super far, but I can see her maybe making jury, but either like really early jury, or like 4th or 5th boot, or 6th, whatever it is. Like right before jury or right at jury. But she seems like she'll be pretty social. She just seems like she'll be like a really motherly with like all the young people. And she'll probably just like take care of everybody. And maybe I can see her possibly doing good at comps, but I don't see her going too like super far. But yeah, I can see her maybe being like 1st, 2nd juror at the most.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly hope not, Henry. I hope that is not the case. We do not want that at all. So my thoughts on Tara is I'm pretty much in the middle with her. I think there are things about her that I definitely really like. I like how much she cares about family. I like how much she wants to win. I like her story a lot. She definitely seems like a likable personality. My thing is, I think she's going in a bit too over-prepared. At least it feels that way. Like her practicing nomination speeches with her family and things like that. You know, it seems like she's going to be very game body, and her mode's always going to be on the game. And Big Brother is one of those games where like you need to take a second to just like relax and like take everything in. And I just hope she doesn't come in too strong. You know, that's my only, I would say, fear with her.
I can see that too. Like I do, I see her either making jury or being like an early boot by playing too hard too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, I mean, I do kind of agree with Jazzy. I can definitely see Karen vibes for sure. Like she's definitely someone that like wants to play, and I like seeing that a lot. She wants to play. She studied up very well. Again, it's just a matter of, is she too prepared? Because there is such a thing as being too prepared for a game, and I'm worried that she might be a little too prepared overall. But is there anything else you want to say about Tara?
I mean, I think that's pretty much everything on her, but I do really like her. She seems really really fun. I just hope she doesn't play too hard too fast.
Yeah, definitely. I think she definitely, again, has potential. Not one of the ones that like were like amazing to me or anything, but I do think she could definitely be a good player for sure. But the next person we're talking about is someone that I'm definitely excited to get into. Let's talk about Victoria. Oh shit, I did it again. I keep doing that. All right, that's
That's
the
funny.
tab I want. Because I'm doing it from like the Big Brother like website, and I keep forgetting to like open up the like image individually. There we go. All right, let's talk. Let's talk about Victoria. So Victoria is she's a youth advocate. She's someone that again has a really interesting story overall. What did you think of Victoria?
She was honestly one of my other favorites.
Mhm.
I think I rate her like maybe third or fourth on my list.
Yeah.
I really like she's very bubbly like me as well. So she's another person I relate to
Yeah,
because
she
she's been
reminded
said,
me a lot of you with like how like positive and fun she was.
yeah, because of her bio. And I think
Yeah.
she'll be like a really good talker. I can see her making it far, I can see her making it to the end, either runner up or winner,
Mhm.
maybe or like third or fourth place or something like that.
Third or fourth boot. That's not
No,
great.
sorry, no. I meant
She's
to say
gonna do
third or
great.
fourth
Fourth boot.
place. But yeah, I can see her making like being really well spoken with people and having a connection because of her story and her background. And I can see her being really social, but also I can see her being good at comps too. So I think she's someone to look out for.
Yeah, I think she definitely. I was a big fan of her for sure from her intro. Like you said, I think she definitely is one of the most entertaining of them all for sure. I think she really exhibits a lot of just confidence, and that's really great to see. But like you said, she also is a really great talker. You know, she has that great story of growing up as in foster care, so she's someone that naturally has been had different upbringings her entire life. She's always had to adapt to new surroundings. And I always talk about how in games, I think adaptation is very important. And I think that's something that Victoria is already very used to. So this could honestly be like smooth sailing for her. Like she definitely is. I think this is like ideal scenario for her to come into something like Big Brother. So I think she has a ton of potential for sure. I think she's going to have a great social game, and I think she's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely down for her for sure. And I do agree with Jazzy. She gives me like final two energy for sure. Like I can definitely see her being a really great speaker, but I also could see her being someone that because she's so fun, nobody wants to cut her, and maybe she makes it all the way to the end. So I definitely see a lot of positivity for Victoria. Again, I think she definitely is going to be a big character throughout the entire season, and I'm excited to see her play. Is there anything else you want to say about Victoria?
Yeah, I can definitely. She seems very smart, but I can also see her being really fun and entertaining, and maybe she'll cause some chaos too. Who knows? I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I think definitely, like I said, she has everything that you really could want in a Big Brother player. So I'm excited to see what she ends up doing. So definitely one of my favorites for sure. And speaking of one of my favorites, we go to the person that everyone has been raving about. Let's talk about Julie. So Julie is someone who is a social media influencer. She's been on YouTube for quite a bit, talking about her being trans or just other things within her life. Very much an open book. So there's been a lot of hype surrounding her. What did you think of Julie?
Oh my god, actually, she's definitely my winner pick.
Yes.
Like for sure. I loved her. She's probably like literally like one of my main favorites as well. I can see her definitely making it to the end. Either winner or maybe like cut it 3 possibly if people are like if the final HOH can't beat her or something like that. But I can definitely see her being very social, very strategic, very well spoken. I can see, especially because she's also very like works for social media, so I can definitely see her being very social and connects with people. I don't know. I can see her being very either heroish or villainous. Like
I
really,
see her as a villain. I see her a villain
yeah,
just from her intro alone, which just from that intro, first thing I wrote was iconic and legendary already, where she's like, if I want to mess, I take out the trash. Like that is
yeah,
how you start a fucking intro. Like I
yeah.
love that so much.
I can
And
definitely see it.
right from there, like I was a huge fan of her.
Yeah, I can definitely see her being a villain,
Yeah.
or a hero, or a mix. But yeah, I can definitely see her causing chaos for sure. I love her.
Oh yeah. Julie is going to be someone where when there's like shady shit going on, she's going to call people on it. And you're going to be someone that you don't want to, cross Julie. You don't want to be someone that gets in Julie's crosshairs because she will go off on you. And it very much feels that way. Like I can definitely see Julie being a big threat in that way, but I also can see her being someone that plays really well and people don't deem as a big threat because again, she is someone that is very personable. She is someone that's just very likable in that way. And I think someone like her, is very important. This is someone that is speaking openly about, her being trans. Like she talks, and even in her intro, she was talking about like, her earlier struggles before her transition and things like that, which I think is really great. And I think you need someone like this on a reality show. You need someone like Julie who's perfectly content with it. She doesn't really have any vulnerabilities in that way. It's really great to see. And I think she definitely is someone that could end up doing really well for sure. I love her a lot. I will agree with you that out of everyone, she's absolutely my favorite. Like the second I watched her intro, I'm like, just give me more of Julie. Like I am standing Julie all the way. Absolutely winner pick. Couldn't put it better, Nicholas. Julie with exclamation point. That's the best way to put it. Like just already just major icon just from this. I feel like, we do a lot of brand steals on Zoom and I see Julie as someone that like everyone's going to pick on like a brand steal for sure. Because I think she's just going to be so much fun. So I can't wait to see what Julie ends up doing. But I think we've covered basically everything about her. I do want to bring up this thing that Jazzy said. I don't know who this person is, but do you agree with this, that she's like Cassandra?
Honestly, I can see it. Like, because Cassandra's very spunky. I can definitely see her being like a Cassandra. I love Cassandra too. She's one of my favorites from Big Brother Canada. So I can definitely see it. And honestly, I can see Julie's story like touching people, like touching their hearts and stuff. I can see her making a connection with everybody.
This is crazy too. She's applied 9 times apparently.
Oh my God.
Thank God she finally. So she's literally been applying since the show started. So it's amazing that she was finally able to get on. I also think this is going to be really good for her YouTube channel because I didn't know like she was a YouTuber and things like that. So it's going to be good for her as well. People will definitely like gravitate towards her YouTube and things like that. And that's something that I always love seeing as a YouTuber myself. So I just think overall, like she is definitely the big winner pick, and I can absolutely see why everyone's standing her because she is an absolute queen. So definitely love everything about Julie. All right, so now we get into someone that I don't necessarily love everything about, and I don't think you do either. But maybe this person's gonna surprise us. Maybe this person will end up better than we think they will. Let's talk about the moments, the legend himself. We're gonna talk about fucking Kiefer. All right, so Kiefer is someone who he is seems to have a really good life. He's got a family, he's got a wife and kids, he's got a huge ass mullet, as you can see. What do you think about Kiefer?
Honestly, he's one of my least favorites. Who maybe he'll surprise me. That would be cool. Like, I just don't really see him going that far. I can see him being maybe first, second, third boot, somewhere around there. I don't know. I can see him playing really hard too fast. Maybe win the first HOH or something, but then be targeted after that. I don't know. I can see him maybe connecting with a couple people, like the ones with families and everything. But like, I just don't, there's just something about him, his vibe, I just did not love, but maybe he'll surprise me.
I really disliked him a lot. Honestly, out of everyone in this cast, he is the person that I liked the least. His entire demeanor is just, oh, I'm loud, I'm crazy. Like he's just like screaming constantly. And it's just, I wrote it in my notes. Like I see Kiefer as the guy on the feeds that we hear the most of, and we get so sick of hearing his voice. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have those big personalities that are just always talking and you're just like, shut the fuck up. Like that's Kiefer in a nutshell. I very much, see that from him. I really am not a fan of him very much at all. I think that he definitely is someone that I do agree with Jazzy here. He has major first boot energy. I'm not a fan of him very much. And I also don't really know like what he's gaining from this. Like he talks about in his intro how he's like, oh, I have everything that I could possibly want. It's like, then why are you going on Big Brother? Like, what is the point? You know, like
I honestly, not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if he says Billy Ray Cyrus is my inspiration with my mullet.
Honestly, yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Hearing he's a radio host as well was not surprising because he definitely gives me that energy. And I just feel like in general, he's someone that's just trying way too hard to be funny. And I'm just not a fan of him at all. And yes, I do very much dissent Brayden and Josh. I actually like Brayden, but Josh is just kind of fine. But Kiefer, on the other hand, is an absolute headache. And I was not a fan of him very much at all. So yeah, I think I've said honestly, enough. Is there anything else you want to say about Kiefer?
Yeah, honestly, with Josh and him, like, I think I like Josh a teeny bit more, but not by very much.
Well, Josh didn't annoy the fuck out of me like Kiefer did. And again, maybe it's just a bad intro. You know, maybe that's all it is. But if he's already as annoying as he is in his intro, it really scares me, you know, what he's going to end up being like in the actual show. So yeah, not a fan of him at all. Very much do not like Kiefer very much at all.
Me neither.
So yeah, that's I think we pretty much said all we needed to about Kiefer. Now we're going to get into a slightly more controversial pick. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one. Let's talk about LaToya. So LaToya, the big thing about her is that, of course, she is a police officer. She's been involved for years and things like that. And I think she's definitely someone that a lot of people have been talking about. But what do you think of LaToya?
All right, with the police officer thing, I can see her being kind of like, well, I can see her hiding it like Derek did on Big Brother US. But
I mean, she said she's going to, I think.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I can see her being maybe like early jury. I don't see her making it to the end unless she's like really could with like the police officer thing. And she could be maybe she'll like surprise me with like how she talks. Like maybe she'll be well spoken. But honestly, like just from her bio, I can see her maybe being first juror at the most, maybe early juror. I don't like. She seems like a nice person, and I can see her make connections with people, but like I don't see her making it super far. Because I feel like
Nicholas does bring up a good point that Derek was an undercover cop and she's a regular one, and that is true. But still, a big component of being a cop is calling people out and things like that, and having experience with that kind of thing. And I feel like, especially if she were to tell people, that's immediately what they would think of. Even if she doesn't, even if she says like I'm a regular cop, I feel like immediately they're gonna like draw comparisons to Derek for sure. So my opinion of LaToya is I think she's okay. I think she seems fun. She seems nice. Obviously, her being a police officer, not the best time for sure to be a police officer in the world. Definitely. The way that she talks about how like she wants to change like people's perceptions. I feel like that's something that, again, is just a little tone deaf right now. I don't feel like people want to know about all the good things the cops do and things like that. That's not really something that people are super into. So I think that could definitely like put a target on her back. But I also think she is generally likable. She seems like someone that is going to do relatively well. I just don't see her going super far. I don't see her going super far. I see her being like early jury at most. Maybe she surprises me. Oh God, not this, Jazzy. I hope not. Not Kathy. Not stuck in the caramel Kathy.
Kathy is such an icon.
Oh, she is. But good at Big Brother, she was very much not.
Nope.
But it's oh, we missed another comment from Jazzy. It was pretty iconic, referring to Kiefer. It was
oh yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. But anyway,
you know what? Let's just call him Kiefer Ray Cyrus from
Kiefer Ray Cyrus. Yes, there we go. That suddenly makes him a little bit more appealing. But is there anything else you want to say about LaToya?
I mean, she seems fun, but like, I feel like with the police officer thing, maybe she'll like tell her closest ally at some point. Like maybe she'll confess about it, but it might come back to bite her in the ass. Who knows? I just don't see her making it super far.
Yeah, and of course, maybe she surprises us. Maybe she ends up being a lot better than I think we think she's going to be. But just in general, I just wasn't super impressed. I think there's definitely things about her that are good. I think there are definitely things about her that definitely can work for her. But just as a bio, it's not my favorite. And I do agree with Brandon. I like Kathy for being Kathy. Not for her being on Big Brother. Kathy is an icon, but not for Big Brother for sure. So that's, I think, our thoughts on LaToya. Let's get into someone else that I'm interested to hear your thoughts on. We only have a few more left. We're almost done here already. Yeah, now we're going to be talking about Austin. Austin is she is someone that is a realtor and marketer. And she's someone that defies some of what you would normally expect from her, which we'll get into. But what did you think of Austin overall?
Actually, she's another one of my favorites. I think she's super pretty. She's literally like a model. But I can also see her getting into a showmance though. But maybe it'll work out for her. I can see her possibly making it to the end. Maybe runner-up energy or like really close, or maybe just like late jury-ish. But I can definitely see her being in a showmance, but it could work out for her, or just flirting to her advantage. I can see that being flirtmance or showmance. But I can definitely see her being very social, very flirty. Maybe with certain comp wins I can see her doing well in, like the mental comps or like endurance or something like that. But and I can definitely see, I love her a lot. I think she seems really fun, and I love her vibe and I love her personality. I can definitely see her making it like late jury or runner-up-ish.
So I'll be honest, I think this is the first one where I actually kind of disagree with you. I was not fairly impressed by Austin. I think she's someone that is fun for sure. Definitely, I agree on obviously the looks and things like that. The one thing I do like about her is that she defies some expectations, her not partying as much in school and her focusing on her studies, and also the fact she's had 0 relationships. But I also very much agree with Jazzy that she has major first year energy, and I think she definitely is going to end up in a showmance for sure. I think she absolutely is going to end up in a showmance. And she also, I saw this on Twitter, I very much agree, she very much has the Annalise type energy where she's just kind of like, she's like the fun girl that's coming in, not really focused on the game, just kind of wants to have fun.
Yeah, I can see that in a way too, but I can also see her like surprising us. Yeah. Hopefully she's not as toxic as Annalise and all that.
Yeah.
But like,
not here for that.
I don't know. I hope she surprises us, but like she does seem like she'll be like fun and social, but like I don't know. This one's like a hit or miss. Like I can see her making it like early jury or at the end.
I thought you said she was one of your favorites.
Oh, she is. But like I meant like game wise.
Yeah, game wise, I don't really know where her head's at, and especially because I'm doing it like based on that. I just didn't get a lot from her. Nothing against her. I didn't find her boring or anything. I just don't really know if she's here to play the game. I feel like she's more here to find a showmance, especially because she kind of like highlights it at the end of her video. She doesn't talk much about like, what she's going to do in terms of the game. So I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of her. And I do agree with Nicholas. She's definitely going to end up in a showmance with someone for sure. So yeah, not fairly impressed. Not fairly impressed by her. Is there anything else you want to say about Austin?
I just think she's really like fun, and she does seem really nice, and just I don't know. I can see her being like chaotic in the game too. Who knows? I hope she like.
I mean, maybe I hope she surprises me. I hope she does. I hope she's more, you know, what you say and not what I say, because I like being surprised. But just right now, not that impressed. So that's Austin. We only have 2 more. Yeah, me too. Me too. I want all these people to do well. But we only have 2 more picks left, babe. We're almost done. It's crazy. We're really like chugging along here. We're going to talk about someone.
There's only 14 people too.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller cast, which I think is actually a good thing. I've always been a component of like smaller casts are better. I enjoy smaller casts. Like I'm here for that. I much like having a smaller cast than a big cast where where half of them don't even get anything to do. So
like further over the top.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons that's one of the best seasons. Now we're going to talk about someone that I think we definitely don't see a lot of at all. Let's talk about Tina. So Tina is very much the oldest house guest for sure. She is not someone that we normally see. She's a graphic designer. She doesn't wear makeup, but she talks about how she's very like, extroverted and things like that. But what did you think of Tina?
Okay, well, I do think she seems nice, but and she does seem like she'll be motherly, like with everybody, and like I can see her bonding with Tara because they're both moms. But I don't really see her making jury. I can see her being maybe, hopefully not first boot, maybe like second or third, fourth. But like I don't see her making jury. I see her just being pre-jury. I just see like, I don't know. I can see her connecting just with maybe Tara, but maybe not every single person. But hopefully she surprises me. Hopefully she'll like win some challenges and make some good alliances with people. But so far I don't really see her making jury. Hopefully she surprises me though.
Yeah. So here's my thing with Tina. I think definitely she is someone that is very very extrovert in that way. She seems very likable. She seems very sociable. There's not a ton about her that we normally see, which I think is really cool. I think definitely she is someone that we don't normally see in reality shows. And she does seem like someone that could actually be a pretty big comp threat. And I think because of that, like, she could end up doing really well in the house. And I think there's definitely a lot of positive attributes about her. And I think she's definitely someone that could do really well. But I also do see Jazzy's point here, where she could end up being someone that ends up being a pawn because I don't really know if she fits in this house. I think the person she's going to bond with most is probably like, say, Tara. I feel like those two are going to bond pretty closely because they're more they're more the older ones in the house.
Because they're both moms, they have that connection. Yeah,
definitely. I just don't know if she has, if she has this, I think she definitely is doing well. Winner material, I don't know if I see it. I don't know if I see that, Nicholas. Maybe, but I don't know if I see it in this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be surprised. I would maybe she'll make it far, but just preseason, I don't see her making it that far.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she was bad or anything. Also, we do love a fellow Leo. We do love that. She talked about in her bio how she's a Leo, and that's great for sure. I just don't know if she is going to fit with everyone else in the house and if the other people in the house are going to vibe well with her. So I don't know. I'm very 50-50 about her. I think she has positive qualities, but I just don't know if in this cast she really fits in there. But is there anything else you want to say about Tina?
I mean, like, I agree with you. I think she's really nice, and I could see her doing well in maybe like the first comp or two, but I don't see her making it super far. Hopefully she surprises me and shocks everybody. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely interesting pick for sure. Now, the last person we're going to be talking about, you probably know who it's going to be. Yeah, I agree with Jazzy as well. Very 50-50.
Yeah.
We have one more person to talk about, and let's talk about Ethan. Oh, no, wait. Let's talk about Kyle. So Kyle is, of course, a replacement, and there's not a lot to say about him. He's unemployed. He's someone that clearly is very much the life of the party in that way. And I have some interesting thoughts about him. What did you think of Kyle?
Oh my God, Kyle Moore, the king of SFC.
Not that Kyle. Wrong Kyle. I wish it was that Kyle. I wish it was that Kyle, but it's very much not.
I actually just watched his cast bio right before this. So
yeah.
He does seem really fun. Like, he definitely seems like he'll just connect well and have like good social relationships. But like, he just seems very simple, very typical, like maybe bonding with the guys, making a bro alliance, final two deal, or just alliance, whatever. But I also kind of see him being in a showman's maybe. He just, I don't know. I can see him doing well in like all the physical comps, but like,
yeah.
I don't see him making it to the end, but I can see him making jury. I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on him yet, but the one part of his video that made me laugh so hard was when he was laying on his hockey net in his underwear.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was so weird. That was so weird when he did that. I feel like that shot alone kind of sums up who Kyle is. Kyle is just someone that he's just very go with the flow in that way. You know, he doesn't really take himself very seriously. He's someone that's very laid back, and I don't know what the fuck he is doing on Big Brother. I really don't. I mean, nothing about him strikes to me as someone that needs to be here. And he very much has like that sort of feel of a replacement. Like, this is definitely an alternate. This is not someone that was originally supposed to be here. I'm glad that he's replacing Ethan, even though I've heard some kind of horrible things about him as well. So that's not great. But that aside, I just don't really get a lot from him. He seems like a bro. Like, feel like he's going to be someone in like an all guys alliance, and he's going to, be someone that, I don't know if he's going to spearhead it necessarily, but I just think that he is someone that just isn't going to do all that well. I don't think he has what it really takes to do well in this game. The way he was like comparing it to like a hockey team where he's like, oh, well, there's people you like and there's people you don't. I'm like, that literally is any team. That literally is any game that you play. Like, I don't know why specifically you related it to hockey. I just thought that was...
That's probably because hockey is like Canada's game.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was very weird. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of him. If I didn't know that he was an alt, I would have thought he was, because like he just has that energy in general. I just don't see a lot of potential from him overall. And yeah, everything that Jazzy said here, like I echo. He's very bro-y. He's very like, he talks about a lot how he loves to party and things like that, and how you should live in the moment. And like, you're not going on Big Brother to party. You're going on Big Brother to play the game. I don't think he realizes that. So
I could, like I said, I can see him being maybe early jury, but maybe like pre-jury as well. I don't know. I can just see people targeting him because he's a strong man.
Oh yeah, I think he's definitely an early jury. I don't think he's getting very far.
He's very just stereotypical white guy.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the best way to sum him up. Nothing really about him sticks out. He seems very similar to a lot of people we see in these kind of shows, and not the kind of person that I really like to follow. So not really a fan very much. And so Kyle, not really feeling him at all. You know what? They need to do a twist. If they can do a twist, or halfway through the season, they replace him with the other Kyle, I feel like things will be great. I feel like that would be a fantastic move moving forward. So yeah, those are our thoughts on Kyle. Is there anything else you want to say about this person?
I mean, hopefully he's surprises us as well. Hopefully he's actually nice. Who knows? But as long as he's not toxic and a complete douche.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I am too. I hope he's not like, too problematic overall.
Yeah. Same.
I agree with Pranoy. Like, I don't like the comparison to Brett because Brett actually wanted to be there. Brett had like good moments in that way, whereas Kyle just seems like, oh, I'm Kyle. I'm very laid back. I just talk like this all the time. I don't really take much seriously. Like, yeah, I definitely agree with Pranoy there. Like, Brett was definitely like a character of that season. Like, obviously, I don't like what he's done postseason, but in season,
I've never been a Brett fan.
But he definitely played the game. He definitely played the game. Whereas Kyle, I just don't really see him as playing the game overall. So yeah, not a big fan of him. And that's the cast overall. That's our thoughts on basically everyone. I think overall, this is definitely a pretty strong group. Like we said, very diverse. There's a lot of people aside from like Kyle that we don't normally see in these kind of shows. And I think that's really cool. You have like the Julies, you have you have Julie, obviously, like I said, I think is definitely the best. Like Julie Rohan, I would say is definitely, like I said, one of my favorites as well. And then I actually was a big fan of Braden. I know Nicholas, you absolutely love Braden, but I definitely was a pretty big fan of him. Victoria, like those are definitely the ones that I think are going to do the best in this season for sure. And but anything else you want to say before we close things out here on this cast?
Well, I mean, like I said, I do think my winner picks are Julie and Victoria as of right now. But I'm just really excited to see how the season plays out, and I'm excited to do more of these because it's been really fun. And this is really fun.
Yes, definitely. This was a lot of fun to do. I'm glad we were able to do this because I know you've wanted to do stuff on my channel for a while. So I'm glad we were able to do this together, and I'm excited to watch Big Brother Canada for the first time. I've never watched this version of the show before. I've heard nothing but great things. I'm looking forward to seeing a host that isn't a robot. I'm looking forward to seeing a very like lively audience in that way. And just, I also really like the theme of the season. I like that it's post-apocalyptic themed. I like the ball pit and things like that. Obviously, we'll get more into that stuff when we get into the actual coverage of the season, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this season overall. Anything's gonna be better than Big Brother 22. That's where I am. Anything's gonna be better than that.
Honestly, I would have so much fun playing in that ball pit. I'd be like, if anyone says who wants to be a have-not, I'd be like, me.
Yeah, I mean you could really use that ball pit as like a way to like gain information. Like you can hide underneath it and like see if people are talking shit about you, and then you just like pop the fuck up like when they're starting.
We'll be like, hi.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm very excited.
Or you know what? Or if two people are making out, we can pop up right there and be like, hello.
Yeah, that too. I could definitely see that. But before we do wrap things up here, thank you to everyone in the chat. It's really great to see all of you pop in. Also, Pranoy is just such an amazing person. Like, this is so nice of him to say. You don't have to say things like that. This is why we love you, Pranoy. Definitely. Thank you, Pranoy. Thank you to Jazzy, Brandon Wu, Nicholas. I know Josh Calhoun was in here for a little bit. Henry Carvalho Skywalker, just all of you guys that were watching, definitely something that we really do appreciate, especially since this isn't actually the first episode. That's going to start on Fridays, which that first one is just going to be us. But after that, we are probably going to get some guests on. So some of y'all in the chat might be on at some point for sure. We would love to see that. And but I'm going to do the same thing I do for you that I do with every other person that collabs with me. I'm going to give you a chance to give a little outro, all that kind of stuff.
Well, this is actually, it's not technically my first time being on with Kevin because I was on his BB22 wrap up.
And you're on the Golden Globes for a little bit.
And the Golden Globes invited me. Yeah. I had so much fun. I cannot wait to do more of these. And I just love giving my opinions on things. And I'm just so excited to see the season. And hopefully it surprises me. Hopefully it's good. Also, last season's cast were definitely like robbed because they definitely deserve to come back since their season was canceled. And follow me on Twitter, AlyKatXO. And I love you all.
Yes, definitely. Very happy to have you on finally. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little precursor to our podcast overall. We're very excited to get into this more. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.